Cash shops, whether you love them or hate them, some are clearly better than others. Hello everybody, it is Mica, and I am wearing all green for you because it is St. Patrick's Week. At least at the time of this recording. I'm not sure it's going to still be St. Patrick's Week when I actually post this video, but damn it, I'm wearing green because it's fun. This week I want to talk about MMO cash shops for a moment because no matter how you feel about them, they seem to be here to stay, unfortunately. But some really are better than others. Not only what's sold, but technically as well. And if you're going to insist on having a cash shop in an MMO, you gotta at least get a few things right. So I'm gonna compare and contrast the design and function of 3 different cash shops and talk about what major companies did correctly and what they just didn't. And this is not going to be a critique of the games themselves. That's not what this is, because frankly I enjoy them a lot. This is simply a look at the design, function, and cost of their cash shops. No judgment. There are 3 specific cash shops I'm going to cover in this video as well. 2 from highly popular MMOs that have been around a while, The Elder Scrolls Online and Final Fantasy XIV, and 1 from an upcoming MMO, Pantheon Rising of the Fallen. Just wait for it. So we can look at what is hopefully the future of cash shops in MMOs. Now, the reason I chose these MMOs is because they all have similar structures, and by that I mean they are all sub-based games with no pay-to-win elements. And I know some people are going to be out there and they're going to be like, well, wait a minute, you know, blah, 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 reasons, but I personally don't consider anything on these cash shops to be particularly pay-to-win. Between Elder Scrolls Online and Final Fantasy XIV, they also have roughly the same amount of content of comparable quality and are also around the same age. I'm also very familiar with these cash shops as these are the games I play and I know the most about. I wanted to use sub-based games though because design aside, that is a better indication of a company's, I guess lack of the better word would be scumminess, because when you buy a game and on top of that have to pay a monthly fee for that game, a cash shop is inherently scummy, and it really depends on how badly you abuse it. I can understand it in free-to-play games, but honestly, many of them are pay-to-win cash grabs. When you hear an MMO is coming out and then you hear it's going to be free-to-play, you know what's up. I mean, come on. There are exceptions, but they are very, very few. So the first things that we're going to do is take a look at what each game subscriptions offer. In Pantheon, we really don't know much about the subscription structure yet, so with that game, it's not something we can really go deep into. No, I know I'm getting there, just be patient. In Final Fantasy XIV, you pay $14.99 a month, and all that does is give you access to the game. On top of that, you need to pay $2 per month for 175 slots of extra storage on a retainer. And since there is no trading between characters on the same account and no crafting bag, most people I know tend to have at least a few retainers in their servers. And my crafter friends have 8. And I know that's not for everybody, but it's just the majority of people that I personally know. So that's what I'm going by. So most people I know are paying roughly $20 to all the way up to over $30 a month just to access the game and have enough storage to gear all their jobs, hold crafting supplies, and the myriad of other random items like materia. In the Elder Scrolls Online, the sub is completely optional, so you don't really need to pay it, you can just log in. But honestly, if you play this game with any regularity, I don't know why you wouldn't pay the sub. It doubles your account-wide inventory, it gives you a free crafting bag, which is also account-wide, it gives you access to all the DLC for free, major expansions excluded of course, it gives you a 10% bonus to experience, gold, and inspiration gains, extra furniture in your house, amongst other things. It also gives you free crowns, which is the cash shop currency. They will match you dollar for dollar on your sub, so you'll get $15 worth of crowns a month to spend freely on the cash shop. I have not spent a penny on crowns, and I have tons and tons of items from the cash shop. ESO is clearly the winner here. Not only do they give you more bang for your buck when it comes to the subscription, but they also give you cash shop credit for paying the sub. And that's probably the least scummy thing a company can do when they have a cash shop and a monthly sub game. And I will give ZeniMax great kudos for that decision. But let's also look at the cash shops themselves and all those items that the Defenders and White Knights are gonna say. If you don't like it, don't buy it. No one's forcing you to. I'm going to start with the interface and the way it's designed because you can't really buy anything if you can't access the store. In ESO, you just click on the crown icon on the top of the screen while you're logged into the game, and presto, the shop opens right up. The first thing you're going to notice is the design is clean and the sale items are prominently displayed, and there's always plenty of sales. You can then select a tab and peruse the goods. With a lot of the items, you can even see how they're going to look in the actual game or on your character. Same with houses, which you can buy with gold or with crowns. Simply open the housing tab, select a house you want to preview, and hey look, you can look at that house both furnished and unfurnished. Then if you want to buy something, you just click purchase, and there you go. Now let's take a look at what you do in Final Fantasy XIV. So while you're in game, you sorry, you can't do that. What you have to do instead is go to your PC if you're not already there, and open a browser. Go to the Mog Station, which I always just access through the actual lodestone because there's been a few Mog Station dummy pages that steal your information. You need to log in yet again, and then you need to go to optional items, choose the tab with the corresponding items you want, scroll through them to find that item, click on it, and hey look, you've got a picture of the item. Neat. Now you choose that item to put it in your cart, go to your cart, select the purchase, choose the character that item goes to, re-input your credit card information, purchase, confirm purchase, and then you go back to the game and you sit at your local mailbox and you wait for it to come through, which on average, from my experience, takes around 5 to 10 minutes depending. Oy vey. Oh boy. Okay, now we can finally delve into Pantheon's cash shop, so let's take a look. Oh wait, they don't have one because the devs are cool as hell and they're not adding a cash shop to their game because the integrity of the game is more important than a quick buck, and they believe items in the game should be earnable in the actual game. What is this madness? But let's move on to what the shops actually sell. Both the Mog Station and the Crown Store sell similar merchandise. Hairstyles, costumes, mounts, furniture, minions, race changes, name changes, all that fun stuff. The biggest difference between the Crown Store and the Mog Station is the Crown Store also offers houses and loot crates. But before you scream, aha, it's a scam, it's a scam! Houses you can also buy with in-game gold, which is ridiculously easy to come by, and let's face it, the housing system is leaps and bounds better in ESO than in Final Fantasy XIV. You really need to be a hardcore fanboy to try to argue otherwise. ZeniMax took their time to get housing right, where Square Enix rushed through housing to appease the masses, and boy can you tell on both sides. As far as loot crates go, they're handed out like candy with login rewards. I don't even know why someone would buy one. They both also offer boosts. In ESO, those boosts consist of experience bonus scrolls, mount speed scrolls, inventory expansions, all things that are available in-game at minimal to no cost in gold. They're just mostly limited by time more than anything else. Final Fantasy XIV's boosts are actual job level boosts that will take a job from level 1 to level 60. I'm assuming this is going to be raised to level 70 come Shadowbringers, but I have no confirmation. It also marks all job quests complete. They also offer story completion quests, which I honestly didn't understand in the first place, since this game is, you basically play this game for story more than anything, so I don't understand skipping the story, but after leveling an alt, totally get it. Still won't buy it, but I get it. And now it's time again to see what Pantheon has in their cash shop. Oh right, it's nothing, because they're awesome. Cost-wise, they're also fairly comparable too, with the Crown Store having slightly better bargains since it's constantly running sales, compared to the Mog Station, which has sales for a couple weeks a few times a year. Things like emotes, for instance, range from $2 to $7 on the Mog Station and around $5 on the Crown Station, unless you buy a bundle which gives you multiple emotes for a flat rate such as 3 for $8. The biggest difference are where it comes to things like costumes, which are around $5 on the Crown Store but can be all the way up to $18 on the Mog Station, and individual items like weapon skins are both comparable at around $2 to $3 on both cash shops. The biggest difference, and it's a big one, and the reason the Crown Store is flat out the better cash shop, is because everything you buy is account wide. So if you spend $5 on an outfit, all your characters will have access to it. However, you can spend $18 on one outfit from the Mog Station and it will be restricted to one single character. Same with most mounts, minions, I mean pretty much everything on there. After being pushed on this for a long time, Yoshida said something about the programming now allowing it because only a certain number of items in the game it could be account wide, and once they're out of spots, they're out of spots. They're saving it for, you know, bonus items and expensive items and yada yada yada. To me, that just seems like PR speak and a way to justify having things on a single character only. I mean, I could be wrong, but it just doesn't feel legit. But let's take all this data and talk about who has the best cash shop. Now, when all is said and done, Visionary Realms definitely is the winner here because they're not going to have a cash shop at all, which I honestly think if you're going to have a game with a box cost and a monthly sub, it's the only legit way to do it. Not to mention, it's more satisfying to earn something in a game rather than buy it. I want the SDS and rear mount, but $30? Why can't I just do a quest and have fun getting it instead? And you know, when I was growing up, my parents were always like, you know, you're going to appreciate something more when you have to earn it yourself rather than just having it given to you, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, whatever, mom and dad, I want this right now. Just give it to me. Yeah, I don't want to have to, no. But yeah, they made me earn money and get things myself. And that's probably why I can appreciate it. But who would have thought my parents were actually right about something? That's really, I really hope other upcoming MMOs take note. Although we already know that some MMOs, which I'm not going to name, are going to be very cash shop heavy. And even if you have an amazing cash shop like ESO, you still have a cash shop. The only saving grace that ESO has, and the reason I don't see their cash shop as shady in any way, comes from the fact that they match your subscription with store currency and everything is account wide. This is honestly the way you want to have a cash shop in a subscription-based game if you're gonna have a cash shop at all, which I still believe you shouldn't. It really makes the cash shop feel like they're giving you a selection of just free bonus items. Like I said, I've never paid for crowns, so it's like a present or 2 or 3 of my choosing every month and just for playing, and that's on top of the perks for subbing. They really give you a lot for your money. On top of that, the design is sleek, it's easy to access, it's easy to purchase anything, all my characters have access to it. I mean, this is really just a really, really well done and really well thought out cash shop. The Mog Station, unfortunately, is the complete opposite, and like a few other aspects of Final Fantasy XIV, feels rushed, like they were just trying to get it out as fast as they can so they could get it out. It feels like the person who designed it really wasn't experienced or really wasn't sure of what Square Enix wanted. Not only could it not be accessed in the game, which isn't the designer's fault, I mean that is a completely technical thing, the design is clunky and it just does not scream professional. It looks like something that you would whip up using the basic tools of a monthly web hosting service. The number of steps that you need to buy something, the fact that you can't preview anything, and the big kicker of most items being restricted to a single character make this cash shop feel When you add in the fact that you need to pay a monthly sub that gives you nothing but access to the game, and you even have to pay more every month for extra storage because there's no trading between characters, there's no crafting bag or anything like that, and storage itself is incredibly scarce when all things are considered, it makes you feel like you're really being milked. And I know it's going to be said multiple times in the comments that you don't need to buy anything, or you know, people are going to defend Final Fantasy XIV in one way or another, but you don't need to. This isn't me trolling Final Fantasy XIV. I play Final Fantasy XIV way more than ESO. It's my main MMO at the moment. However, when it comes to cash shops, one is clearly more thought out, has a much better design, and is more player and wallet friendly. But what do you think? Am I being too harsh? Am I being too lenient? What are your feelings about cash shops? Let's talk about it below. And if you want to follow me on social media or you want to purchase any of these games, those links are below as well. But as per the usual, it has been a hoot, and until next time, have fun. So the main reason I wanted to do this video is, number one, cash shops and MMOs, but also in university I studied both design and literature, and when I was in design, we would sit in our studio all the time and we were always talking about bad design and we would make fun of it and stuff like that. And, you know, and there's very clearly like two completely opposite sides of the spectrum with these cash shops. And I really appreciate good design just as much as I like making fun of bad design. So I thought, hey, this would be a great way to show people what is actually a good design and what's actually, you know, well thought out and very player friendly compared to the opposite. So that was the only reason. Just, okay, a little bit of bonus knowledge for you there. But that's it. Have fun.